Happy Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen. The Behind the Glass crew here to put some content on your plate on this Thanksgiving. We know you're not watching the Giants-Cowboys debauchery that is on television right now. So this is a much more entertaining way to spend your Thanksgiving afternoon. Joined by Earl the Pearl as always. We got Anthony Antonelli behind the glass. And we figured we'd have a little bit of fun on this Turkey Day, guys. We're going to take a look at some staples of the Thanksgiving table and figure out which current Cleveland athletes are most representative of that dish. Or how do you feel about this exercise before we jump into it?
Hot take. I am so sick and tired of watching the Cowboys play on Thanksgiving. Who want to watch Cooper Rush and DeVito? Who wants to watch this?
Not me.
We need to be able to flex these. If we could flex the Browns and the Bengals on a Thursday night, we could flex the Cowboys and the Giants off of our Thanksgiving plate. I don't want that on my plate, right? That's like having green bean casserole on my Thanksgiving plate. I don't want that. So, you know what? I think I'm going to step away, come back for dessert.
Well said. And how do you feel with this exercise before we dive into the player-to-food comparisons?
I had some fun making this, but, Mike, I also want your opinion on the Giants game. Would you have been devastated if Danny Dimes got signed by Dallas to play this game?
No, it would have been funny. It would have been,
funny,
objectively
right?
hysterical. The Giants are a mess. The Cowboys are a mess. They beat the Commanders this weekend. They were 10.5-point underdogs, ended up upsetting the Commanders. And one of the did you see the end of that game?
Yeah, I did.
I
did.
And here's the funny part.
Former Browns kicker.
Yeah. and full disclosure, we are taping this Wednesday morning. It's going to air on Thursday on Thanksgiving. Because there's no interest in the game, you know it's going to be like a 37-35 shootout, and both quarterbacks are going to play well. And we're going to be like, oh, look how fun that game was. And then next year we're going to talk ourselves into the Cowboys being worthy of being on Thanksgiving. And guess what? They're going to suck, and it's the cycle of how this all works.
So one last thing, since Ant brought it up on the Giants, thoughts on what Malik Neighbors had to say. He said it's not the quarterback.
They've quit. It's a disaster. The whole team is a disaster right now. And Ant's taking his headphones off, which usually means something's not right. So I hope Anthony's okay. Oh, he's putting his hat on. He's a little chilly.
Yeah.
They're a disaster.
I thought he was actually finna rock with the hair out.
Yeah, no, they're
my
a
hair
catastrophe.
looks terrible. My hair looks almost as bad as the Giants right now.
Bad football is bad football, and when you watch a lot of teams around the league, including the New York Giants right now, you are watching some piss-poor football. But let's dive into why we're here today, guys.
Yes.
Comparing Cleveland athletes to Thanksgiving foods. Anthony and I, this morning, we went through Google and found the 11 most common Thanksgiving Day staples. Your family, Ant, has some things that's different than what my family does, which I'm sure is different than what your family. So we found the basic, generic Thanksgiving Day spread. And the only parameters were you have to give us a reason why player X equals Thanksgiving dish Y, and they have to be a current Cleveland athlete. So you can't – there's no LeBron Jameses. Mm-hmm. There's no J.R. Smith. There's no Bernie Kosars. Current Cleveland athletes, Guardians, Browns, Cavs. If you want to go somewhere else, albeit I stuck to those three. But we are going to start. And Ant, let's start with you first. Turkey, the staple of Thanksgiving. In your opinion, Anthony, which Cleveland athlete best represents turkey right now?
I took Nick Chubb here. Just consistent, always there. Never bad, really. Turkey is usually pretty always good.
Earl?
I ain't gonna say turkey is. So if you cook turkey right, so
I have Nick Chubb for something else.
I put an asterisk next to mine because I like my turkey deep fried, right? Okay. Deep fried turkey is seasoned well. It's just juicy. It's a little bit more tender. And you're right. It's a staple. It's just so damn good. So what Cleveland athlete is just so damn good? The man that has had 3 sacks in the first half in back-to-back games, Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is the turkey.
I have Myles Garrett for something else. I went with Jose Ramirez as the turkey.
Oh, yeah.
It is the staple of Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And I understand Myles may be a better player than Jose, but Jose has the longevity. And right now when you think of the staple of Cleveland sports, I think of Jose. Is it the greatest part of Thanksgiving?
No.
Is Jose the best baseball player in the world? No. But is he there every year, rain or shine, night or day? Does he show up? And he is, when I think of just the staple of Cleveland sports right now, I think Jose. So Jose to me was the turkey. And by the way, if you're watching, thank you for watching. Happy Thanksgiving. Leave a comment as we go through these 11 who you think has the best representative of player to dish. So Ant went with Nick Chubb for turkey. Earl went with Myles Garrett.
For the deep fried turkey.
For the deep fried turkey, I went with Jose Ramirez. Earl, we'll start with you on mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Who'd you go with for mashed potatoes?
So mashed potatoes, like I like potatoes, right, in all forms. French fries, mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, right? And, you know, we all like to sip every now and then, right?
Yeah.
When you going to have a couple drinks of tequila, like we probably finna do with our cousins today, is you want something that's gonna stick to you, something that you guarantee is gonna be there and it's solid, right? It's like the meat and potatoes. That's Nick Chubb, right? Nick Chubb is the potatoes of Thanksgiving. He's solid. He sticks to you. You can count on him to get you through a long day of drinking if that's what you're about to do. I gotta go with Nick Chubb for the mashed potatoes. Make sure you have some butter, a little parsley on that. Like, it's gonna be all the way there.
I went with Nick Chubb's my mashed potatoes pick too. A little different reason. Like, even on its worst day, mashed potatoes still damn good.
They good.
On its best day, we're talking like elite of elite. And Nick Chubb, when he's in his physical peak, when he's not coming off injury, he's as good of a running back as the NFL's had in the last 2-3 decades.
Facts.
Even when he's coming off the injury,
Facts.
he's still better than what they had. On a bad day, give me bad mashed potatoes because bad mashed potatoes are better than no mashed potatoes.
Talk to him.
Give me Nick Chubb. And you took Nick Chubb for turkey. Where'd you go with, or who'd you go with for mashed potatoes?
I went with David Njoku for mashed potatoes. Probably, and it's a high bar anyways, but lowest form of potato for me. I'm not a huge mashed potato guy, but it's solid and I always know what I'm getting. Like, I'll eat it, I'll enjoy it.
You think you always know what you're getting from David Njoku?
Yeah, I think so. I think the last 2 years he's been pretty consistent. I know I'm going to get a good chip blocker and some solid hands.
Except when he's wide open in the end zone.
Yeah.
Who's throwing him the ball?
It doesn't matter. All right, hey, listen, it's to each interpretation of own. Like you said, let us know in the comments. We had 2 for Nick Chubb.
This one was
potatoes.
the hardest one for me to decide.
And you know what's so crazy about that? Because that touchdown was wide open. The 2-point conversion was 10 times harder than the touchdown, and he caught that with no problem.
That's what he does.
That's cheap for you.
So we'll just keep going around the horn. So Ant started first for turkey. You started first for mashed potatoes. We had stuffing up next. And in my opinion, stuffing is the GOAT of Thanksgiving. The fact that stuffing only gets brought out once a year is a travesty. Stuffing should be a January food, a February food, a June food, a July food. My birthday's in May, a May food, a Thanksgiving food, a Halloween food. If I went trick-or-treat and someone gave me a handful of stuffing, I'd be thrilled.
That's facts, actually.
Myles Garrett stuffing. It is the best of the best, hands down. And we're talking about who is the best Cleveland athlete right now. It's to Earl's point earlier with the turkey. He had 3 sacks last game. And even if Myles Garrett has a non-existent in the stat sheet game, you still feel his impact. Turkey's better when it's stuffed. And the turkey is enhanced by the stuffing.
I see what you did.
So in my opinion, not only is it the GOAT of the Thanksgiving plate, just like Myles, the current GOAT of Cleveland athletes, even when it's not the star, it has impacts on everything else on the plate. So Myles Garrett, that's my stuffing.
He found a way to put Jose Ramirez and Myles Garrett together. That's what he did.
I went a little bit different for my. Oh, that's the wrong button. I went a little bit different for my stuffing. Since it only gets brought out on Thanksgiving, as much as I love it, I really only think about it around the month of November. So I only think about it when it's there. It's Dean Wade. Like, it's great, love it when it's there. But when it's not there, not even thinking about it.
I'm not sure we're gonna have a player differential from like what their status as a player to someone else's pick, from Dean Wade to Myles Garrett. But Ed, I see what you did. I like the premise. Earl, where'd you go?
Okay, so I eat dressing. I don't eat stuffing.
Okay, fair.
So I agree with the parameters. It is so damn good, right?
I love stuffing.
It comes out once a year, but if it's made right, by the right set of hands, by the right grandma, the right auntie, right? Like, it's just something that just tingles right there. And you just got to keep going back for more, right? And like you said, it's the best of the best. That's Donovan Mitchell. Okay. That's Spider. Okay. that is the most selfless superstar in the NBA right now.
Fair.
This is the man, again, once a year, he's sacrificing how good he is so that everybody else around him on the Thanksgiving table can get pause.
Listen, there's a lot of pause. We're talking food, there's a lot of pauses.
But you get where I'm going
I got Donovan for something else. I hear what you're saying. So Ant went Dean Wade.
Donovan
Donovan,
Mitchell.
I went Myles. Let us know who you think best represents that. Moving on to number 4, cranberry sauce. Ant, you're back up first. Which Cleveland athlete best currently represents cranberry sauce?
This was the easiest one on the list. Deshaun Watson. It sucks. I don't like it.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. Hey, you know I love you, right? Like, I love
Cranberry
you.
sauce is not my thing. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Well, you go because I think this is my best pick of all of them.
Okay, so this is my best pick. Because cranberry sauce,
I think we're going to have the same one.
cranberry sauce is something like I can eat all year long. I absolutely,
I love cranberry sauce.
1,000% love cranberry sauce. You know who else I love like that?
Ty Jerome! Hey, what does my phone say right there?
Ty Jerome.
You give me your reason for Ty. I'll give you my reason for Ty
Hey,
Jerome.
listen, because like he's just, again, he's so damn good, right? He's high energy, octane. He's like addictive. Like if I can eat cranberry sauce all year long, man, I cannot wait to see Ty Jerome on the screen. What they play again? Friday? They play Friday?
Yeah. Friday night,
I can't wait to see him Friday. I know what I'm getting from him Wednesday. I can't wait to see him Friday. Ty Jerome is equal to cranberry sauce because cranberry sauce is the best thing in the entire world.
I went Ty Jerome as well. A little different.
Uh-huh.
I love cranberry sauce. I
Yes.
do. But a little bit goes a long way. You don't need to cover the entire plate in cranberry.
No.
You just have to have enough to give that little sweetness
Yes.
when you mix the whole plate together.
Yes.
Ty
And it's
Jerome,
right there next to the stuffing.
and when it mixed together, it's the perfect bite. Just like Ty Jerome next to Donovan or Darius.
see my point?
He's more
Yeah.
versatile enough. Now, here's why I think this is the perfect comparison, and I like Ants. I hear what you're saying. I don't necessarily like it. I hear what you're saying.
It is
on
the
it.
worst thing on this
I hear
list
what
for
he
me.
said.
I hear
I
what
don't
he
like
says.
it though.
And I have
worst thing
I have something
on this
similar to
list
that
for
later.
me.
But with Ty Jerome, he's like the best per minute guy. Like you
Yes.
want a plate full of mashed potatoes, you want a plate full of stuff, and you want
Yes.
to load up on the turkey. You just want just enough. If Ty Jerome starts playing 30 minutes a game, will he still produce at this pace? Maybe, maybe not. But in small doses right now, there's not a better permanent player in the NBA.
No.
There's not a better per gram food on the plate than cranberry sauce. All right, 4 down, 7 to go. Earl, you mentioned earlier you don't like green beans, so who's your green bean casserole?
Deshaun Watson.
So
Wait, I
real
have a
quick,
question.
spoiler alert, I have Deshaun for something else, and I think our reason's all going to be kind of
Listen,
same.
I have a question for Earl real quick. Do you not like green beans or do you not like green bean casserole?
I don't like green bean casserole.
Okay, we're good.
I've like no, hell no,
Okay.
hell no after that,
Okay.
and hell no after that. Like green bean casserole is not showing up at Thanksgiving. It's not showing up at Christmas. I don't want it at a repast. I don't want it at a wedding celebration. I just don't want it. It's something about the texture. It's something about the taste. It's not as appealing as it looks when it comes out the oven. You think you're getting more than what you really are until you take a bite into it and you realize it's probably the most disgusting thing that you have on your Thanksgiving table.
I don't have a despise of green bean casserole like Earl does. It's not my favorite by any means. I just think it is what it is. Like, you know what you're getting from green bean casserole. If you had 10 green bean casseroles, Earl, you're probably not going to like any 10.
No.
If I had 10, I'm probably like, all 10 are okay. And it's the consistency factor of green bean casserole, not the high, not the low, which is why I think it's Jared Allen. Jared Allen shows up night in, night out. He's going to get you 12 points, 14 points, and 10 rebounds night in, night out. It's not world-changing. Does a lot of the little things right, but you know exactly what you're getting from it. And that's why I want Jared Allen. Not because Jared Allen necessarily to a taste standpoint is green bean casserole, but Jared Allen is who Jared Allen is. Green bean casserole is what green bean casserole is. So that was my comp. Ant, what'd you go with on this one?
So I actually went with Darius Garland because in my family, green bean casserole is held to a pretty high standard. My mom makes a really good one. Everybody really enjoys it. It's not my favorite. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but I can respect the game. So that's why I went with Garland on that one. He's not my favorite, but I can respect the game.
Okay. So we had Deshaun, Jared Allen, and Darius Garland. Moving on next to sweet potato casserole. And Earl, I think I'm pretty proud of this one. I like sweet potato casserole.
Okay.
But I'm always confused when I eat it. Is it a dessert? Is it a side? Is it too sweet? Is it too savory? I don't know. I just like the ride. That's Jameis Winston. Is he the long-term answer at quarterback for the Browns? I don't know. Is he going to throw 7 touchdowns? I don't know. Is he going to throw 6 picks? I don't know. But I love every damn second of it. So sweet potato casserole, because of the enjoyment factor and the unpredictability of how my mind's going to react to it, I think it lines up pretty damn well with Jameis Winston. Ant, who do you got for sweet potato casserole?
I went with Jed Wills. Get it out of my face. I don't want it. I don't like it. No, nothing about it is enjoyable for me.
So it's funny, man, and this is why I love doing this show, because of the cultural differences. I've never had, and I don't think I've ever heard of sweet potatoes.
It's like sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top.
So I've seen it.
It's
like,
disgusting, Earl. That's all you need to know. Like, it's really gross.
It's a mind twist because it's dessert, but it's also not, and you don't like it. This when I talk about Jameis Winston, I feel like I'm doing this all. That's.
I don't really know what it is, so it's fetty. It's fetty.
Jermaine Fetty.
It's Jermaine Fetty. I don't really know Fetty.
It's Imani Bates. It could be the greatest thing.
It's Imani Bates.
There you go.
I've never had it. I don't know really what to get from it. It's Imani Bates. It might be good. It might not be. Who knows? Fair. There it is. Imani Bates. That's my answer.
And you're up next for ham. Who is your current Cleveland athlete to ham comparison?
I went Myles Garrett with ham. This is my elite food. I love ham more than turkey. Like, this is where Myles falls for me.
Okay, Earl?
This is where Jose Ramirez falls for me, because ham is one of those elite staples, man. Especially when you get that honey baked ham with that crusty glaze on the side of it, man. It never miss. And then you know the best thing about it, right? You can put it on a sandwich later that next day. You can put it on a sandwich the next day. Like it's one of those things that it just never miss. That's Jose Ramirez.
Let me ask you a question. Just yes or no, or either or. Turkey or ham?
Ham.
Unless the turkey is deep fried.
So I tend to agree that ham over turkey. But turkey is the staple, right?
Yeah.
So I went with ham as Donovan Mitchell. Because Jose was the staple of the city. And Donovan showed up and was like, I see what you're doing. I'm going to raise the bar a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I'm going to raise the bar a little bit. Elite level talent when it's done properly, and it's hard to mess up ham. Like, even a bad ham is pretty damn good. Even a bad Donovan Mitchell game.
That's facts.
We're still talking about a pretty good Donovan Mitchell game, and it showed up late to the Thanksgiving party. Like, turkey was the established protein on Thanksgiving. Ham showed up, and now I feel like it's a pretty even 50-50 split. You can choose which one's better. If you wanted to say Jose's better than Donovan, I'd be like, all right, that's a fair argument. You can make a good case. But in my mind, it's Donovan's city, just like it's ham's holiday. All right, Earl, we got corn on the cob next. Or any sort of corn dish. We want corn on the cob, corn dish. Some people do corn casserole. Some people do cream corn.
I like cream fried corn, right?
Okay.
That's my favorite type of corn. You know what I'm saying? You get the little bacon grease in there. The bacon bits is seasoned up nice. Got a little bit of spice to it. Who would be my corn?
If you want to pass and think, you can let me in.
No. Let me work through the motions here, right? Who would be my corn? Because I like cream corn. I don't eat cream corn often. Actually, I can't think of the last time I had corn. I don't think it's corn on the menu today. I really don't know.
Well, let us talk out our thought process.
Okay, go ahead.
So I've been to a lot of different Thanksgiving tables in my life. You know, working in TV, I haven't gotten to go home very often. You know, college, we always played over Thanksgiving break, so I spent a lot of Thanksgiving at teammates' houses, at coworkers' houses. Last year, I spent it at Bull's house. Corn is a very luxury to have at a Thanksgiving table. Like, it's not necessarily a common staple. Like, I've had some. I've been at Thanksgiving dinners without corn, so it's a luxury. You know what else is a luxury?
What's that?
Having a second all-star level ball handler to help close out games alongside Donovan Mitchell. Like, you could live without it. If you only have one elite ball handler to close, you can win a lot of games. You can have a great Thanksgiving meal without a phenomenal corn side dish. But if you have it, that's a luxury. And Darius Garland, to me, is an all-star in his own right, but pairing up alongside Donovan Mitchell, that is a luxury that Kenny Atkinson goes to bed every night knowing I have, and a lot of you others don't. So to me, it was Darius Garland in that luxury factor that you don't need, you can survive without, but when you have it, it makes you a lot better. 17-1, I think, speaks for itself, and I say that because we are taping Wednesday. This is not me forgetting. They play tonight, so we don't know the result. But 17-1 as of taping. And who'd you go with for your corn?
This was my Austin Hedges pick. Because
I like it.
I can live without a corn dish, right? But you put corn in front of me, I'm as happy as can be. Like, I'll have anything that you make with corn, but if it's not there, like if it's a Thanksgiving that just doesn't have it, all right, we're okay. Like, we'll survive. I don't need it to make the meal, but I'm always very, very excited when I have it.
So we were kind of on the same page. It's like a luxury
So it's
edition.
like a luxury utility type dish, right?
Yeah.
That's something that I gotta go David Fry then.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I gotta go David Fry. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that if you have it and you can pull it out, great. You know what I mean? It's a great contribution to the rest of the dinner table. But if you don't have it, you could probably still get the meal off without it.
Yeah.
I'll go David Fry.
All right. Next up is pumpkin pie. This one's me first. Pumpkin pie on paper sounds like the perfect way to end a Thanksgiving meal, right? You got the fall colors, Halloween, pumpkins. You want it to be great. It makes so much sense. You want to end a Thanksgiving meal after the turkey and the ham and the stuffing, the potatoes, on the couch watching football with pumpkin pie. Every time you take a bite of pumpkin pie, you're like, this ain't what I thought it was going to be. And that's Deshaun Watson. It made all the sense in the world. The trade made so much sense when they made it. You had a chance to get an elite quarterback in his prime, and he shows up here and he's been disappointing as hell. That is, every time I eat pumpkin pie, I leave with the exact same feeling. And Deshaun Watson, Ant had him for cranberry sauce, you had him for green bean casserole. I have him for pumpkin pie, but the prevailing underlying thought of all three is it just ain't your flavor.
It ain't your flavor. It ain't your flavor.
I don't like pumpkin pie, and it disappoints me just like the Browns quarterback play has.
So we eat sweet potato pie.
Okay.
We don't eat pumpkin pie, and I absolutely love sweet potato pie. Like,
is that different than sweet potato casserole?
See, I that's what I was wondering. Like, because sweet potato pie is definitely a dessert.
If you have an extra piece of sweet potato pie,
you want some sweet potato pie?
if you bring,
I will make sure that you get a slice of sweet potato pie Friday. I promise you.
Done.
So, like, when I think of sweet potato pie, it's like, it's sweet, it don't miss, like, it's a staple, you know, you can count on it. It's just something that, like, everybody is looking forward to, right? It's that thing that everybody is looking forward to. And when we came into this season, this basketball season, who was the guy that we was looking forward to seeing the most in this development? Evan Mobley, right? Like, you ever be a kid in the kitchen and you watching that sweet potato pie in the oven and you watching it just rise to the top? That's what I think about.
Had it, so.
That's what I think about when I look at Evan Mobley, right?
Okay.
I'm just watching the rise of Evan Mobley, and you know it's gonna hit. You just know it's gonna hit.
I like it. And what'd you go with for pumpkin pie?
I went Jose because it's always there when I need it. I love pumpkin pie, whether it's the day of Thanksgiving, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like, I got to fight my dad for the leftovers, but, like, it's still there. I love it.
Do you know what I like about this exercise? Like, everyone's answer fits what they want. There's not, the comments should, we're going to learn who has the same taste as us.
Yeah.
Like the players be damned. It's what you personally
fun
like on
because,
taste.
like, it depends on, like I said,
What you like.
where you come from, what you like. Sometimes things are cultural based and things like that. And so it's exciting because some people like green bean casserole.
Yeah,
right.
Some people love it.
Some people love it. Like, no.
Earl, have you ever had pumpkin cake?
No, you mentioned it. Yeah, tell us about pumpkin cake, too.
So pumpkin cake, it's just a cake, and it's got, like, a fine, like, cream cheese icing on the top of it. Mm-hmm. My aunt used to make it. She doesn't make it anymore these days. But, like, back when I was growing up, that was, like, my
I just don't love the pumpkin
dessert.
flavor. Like, anything pumpkin,
I don't like the flavor of pumpkin. But I can tell you about another pie real quick since we were on this. My great-grandmother, God rest her soul, she used to make this pie called an egg custard pie. And
I've heard of that. I've never had it.
It is the absolute best thing in the world. I think a few of my cousins have the recipe, but my great-grandmother passed away in 2020. She probably stopped cooking a couple years before that, so it's been some years since I had
so
this pie.
we got to, if anyone out there has made
if anybody know how to make that egg custard pie, man, drop it off the Channel 3 studios, man. Trust me, I will be forever gracious. I'll pay you if I have to. Seriously.
And you're first with apple pie. Who's your apple pie comparison?
So I use the same reasoning that you use for pumpkin pie of disappointing. Like, I love apples. It always looks good when it's coming out, and it's the most disappointing, like, thing ever.
We could not have different dessert tastes.
Yeah, no, just not my thing. Juan Thornhill, like, was excited when he came here.
Good pick.
Always looking for it.
Hey,
disappointing, not really exciting at all.
On the opposite end, I went with classe because it's, in my opinion, apple pie is the perfect way to end a Thanksgiving dinner. There's no better way to close out a game than Emmanuel Classe, unless it's Game 3 of the World ALCS against the Yankees. But that's besides the point. He finished third in the AL Cy Young Award voting. Apple pie and ice cream on the couch right before you pass out. Like, to me, that's the perfect close of a day. I went with Classe. Who you going with, Earl?
I went with Darius Garland. I love apple pie. I think apple pie, like when it's warm, don't nothing like really hit like apple pie when it's warm, you know what I'm saying, fresh out the oven. It got that nice crisp on top. And that's like Darius Garland when he get hot. When Darius get hard and he get to cooking, it ain't nothing like it.
We got 2 left. I'll go first on this next one, and then Ant, you'll go first to close us off. We got gravy. Not with Austin Hedges. You know why? Because gravy is the ultimate connector. You kind of pour it on top of your plate and just let it seep into all the corners and the gravy, in the vegetables, on the turkey, and the stuffing and the potato. It's just the ultimate connector. You put it on the Thanksgiving day after sandwich, which may be better than the actual meal itself. And when you think of Austin Hedges, by itself, you don't just eat gravy by yourself. You don't want Austin Hedges hitting ever. But you want him on your team, right? You need him on your plate.
Yeah.
So to me, it's the ultimate. Gravy's the ultimate connector of Thanksgiving. I wanted to go George Niang, and I think he's a great connector. But I think Austin Hedges is the elite connector right now. At least George can play. Austin, love you, buddy. Like he's crushing it out there, and he's gonna get re-signed. But he's a manager in a uniform, just like Gravy is the ultimate connector in a cauldron. And who do you got?
So I actually gave this one Donovan Mitchell because I think Gravy elevates everything on the plate.
Oh, I like that.
The Cavs were already in the play-in, and Donovan's just taking them to the next level. So this is where I put Donovan in my list.
So we all love Gravy.
Yeah.
My reasoning is more towards yours, even though I really like what Ant said.
I just said already. It's a great answer.
Yeah,
I just used Donovan
Mitchell. It's the
Mitchell.
connector. It's the covering. That's Jared Allen to me.
I like that.
That's Jared Allen.
The backbone.
That's the backbone of the mashed potatoes. It's the backbone of the dressing. It's the backbone of the turkey. Like when the gravy is on the plate, it kind of seeps everywhere and it makes everything better. And gravy by itself, like it's just you spoonful of gravy. Taste test, perfect.
And dinner rolls.
Dinner rolls.
Start us off with dinner rolls.
So they're warm, they're soft, buttery, right? But they're savory and they're filling. You know what I mean? And dinner rolls to me is that unexpected feeling meal, right? That you look at it and you don't expect to get what you're getting from it. But when you taste it, you be like, damn, that's Stephen Kwan. That's Stephen Kwan, right? Stephen Kwan developed a little bit of power this year, and none of us seen that coming. I think he had, before the injury at least, he had one of the best starts to the season in MLB history. He's consistent, and you know what you're gonna get. You could look at him and you might be like, man, I don't know, but like you get one dose of Stephen Kwan, it's filling.
Yeah, I went a little different sport. I went football. Before I tell you who, I looked at dinner rolls as the unsung hero of Thanksgiving. Right?
Okay.
They're not flashy. Mm-hmm. No one's ever like, oh, this dinner roll is incredible. Like, who made it? They're just there, and you can dip, you can fill, you can stuff, you can do whatever you need to with dinner rolls. But they're kind of not the backbone of the Thanksgiving plate, but they elevate everything. That's why I went Wyatt Teller. Under the radar, not flashy, doesn't need the credit. He just wants to show up, do his job, and let everyone else shine. And that's what I think dinner rolls are. So I went with Wyatt Teller as my dinner roll. And our final pick in the Thanksgiving to current Cleveland.
It's funny. I went Cavs for dinner roll because the dinner roll to me is like the elite, like ultimate role player. They're coming off the bench, but boy, am I going to enjoy what I get. And that's Isaac Okoro to me.
I like that.
Isaac Okoro is my bench player. I know Ty Jerome, but I like my defense, and he just sets it up. So dinner rolls are my Isaac Okoro.
Is that the first one we picked 3 different sports for?
I think it is.
So,
I think that's the first one we picked. And that's a beautiful way to end it then. First off, thank you for watching. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know how we can do that each year or find different ways, but I actually spent
that was fun.
I enjoyed that, spent way too much. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. Let us know who you think had the best comparisons in the comments. Let us know which was your favorite. Maybe not as an overall roster, but which one you guys like the best. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food? And if we missed one and you think you have a better comparison than any of the ones we had, let us know down below. We'll review those, and maybe on Monday we can rehash and figure out what we missed and what we can do better. For Ant, for Earl, on McNugget. Well, I was looking at Ant.
It's okay.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving.
Spider-Man.
From everyone at UCSS, we appreciate you. We are thankful for you guys. We thank our families.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Have
everybody.
a hell of a Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys back tomorrow. We are 2 hours, full show, normal schedule, and then on KYC from 12:30 to 1. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving.